From the alley-oops at Kezar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time, and we have the great pleasure of finally knowing who the quarterback was, and the 49ers took Trey Lance. Thank God.
It's not McCorkle, folks. It's not McCorkle.
It felt so good. Once the pick came, I just felt more and more comfortable about it, and the farther we get away from it, the more comfortable I get with it.
Not only that, man, but after everything we're hearing kind of Shanahan and Lynch talk about the guy and breaking down the film of him and talking about what he did exactly, what stood out in their minds, what it was about Trey Lance, and the fact that they made him watch film, break down film with him, basically gave him some trick stuff on film, basically what can this kid spot, what can he figure out, and the fact that he nailed pretty much every single one of those little kind of pick-up questions of Trey Lance, Trey Lance picked up on Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. I mean, that's really, really impressive, man. And you feel like Kyle Shanahan knows that this guy is going to pick up the system quick, that he's going to have the option to roll with this guy potentially in year 2. Maybe he feels like he can even roll with him at some point in year 1 if something goes wrong with Jimmy. But, man, I'll tell you what, I'm just glad it's not McCorkle. I said Trey Lance I was warming on. I wasn't as big on him as I was Justin Fields, but it seems like they put this kid through the ringer to figure out if he could handle the NFL grind, if he could handle a Kyle Shanahan system, and it seems like he hit it out of the park. My concerns are lessened now.
Yeah, I think a couple things that stood out to me from the presser was, first off, they showed a video of, kind of his second pro day, which there was not a lot that came out. You saw the Fields stuff from, Ohio State where they showed Shanahan and Fields chalking it up and all that. What you didn't see was, the ones from this pro day. But they finally released footage, the 49ers did, and there's the one where Lynch and Shanahan look at each other at the same time and get the biggest smiles on their face. Right then, if they would have released that, we all would have known it was Trey Lance. They definitely had Trey Lance in their sights from the beginning. Requesting John Beck to work with him was definitely something that they wanted and were pushing because they wanted to make sure they were just double checking. But he was their guy. He was the guy they were going to get the whole time, and he fits Kyle Shanahan's offense. The second thing that I really found was when Kyle Shanahan started talking about him being able to use him in the run game, where you have to respect him and play 11-on-11 football. We were always hoping that would happen and that would fully unlock Kyle Shanahan's offense. A lot of people said, he doesn't want a runner. You're right. He wants somebody that can do both. That's going to be a wrinkle in their system now. 6 to 8 designed read option run plays for the 49ers. Now, all of a sudden, it's harder to stop the zone run. It's going to open up things for Raheem Mostert, Trey Sermon, and these other running backs, which is fantastic. And the play-action game is something that Trey Lance is fantastic at, is really good. It's hard to get used to having your back to the line of scrimmage, turning around and then throwing the ball. He is already able to do that because he did it so much at North Dakota State. So that kind of stuff makes a lot of sense of why they selected him.
Yeah, and you know what? North Dakota State has turned out a lot of high caliber quarterback prospects over the last, let's just go with 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? They've had a lot of guys come out of there that have been able to have a lot of success at the college level and have found success at the NFL level. I think one of the big knocks on Carson Wentz, or not one of the big knocks, but one of the things Carson Wentz had coming out was just how quickly he picked up the game at the NFL level. I mean, coming in as a rookie, the transition, you saw the transition from his rookie year to his sophomore year, how much he grew and how much more comfortable he was in the NFL. I know he has struggled since then. How much of that was just Doug Peterson in Philly? We're going to find out this year. Him being back with his quarterback coach in Indianapolis is going to be a great kind of sign and indication for 49ers fans, too, of what you can expect to see out of Trey Lance from year 1 to year 2, potentially even to year 3, because he's hopefully going to have a coach, the same offense stability in San Francisco that Wentz didn't necessarily have in Philadelphia. I mean, I know he had the rash of injuries and things of that nature, but with everything, there was a lot of change going on in Philly. They won a Super Bowl in his second year after the major injury. A lot of pieces left between that second and third year. And then he was basically having to do it by himself. That O-line was patchwork for the last few years in Philadelphia. Trey Lance shouldn't have to deal with that here in San Francisco. He's going to be a rookie on a rookie pay scale. Shanahan has shown that they're willing to invest in things like the O-line. You already locked up Trent Williams for at least the next 3 years, potentially for the next 5 to 6.
Right.
You got you got Lincoln Tomlinson who can be extended. McGlinchey just picked up his 5th-year option. You went out and got yourself a guard in Aaron Banks too as well, who we're going to talk about in the future episodes. You don't want to miss that. I mean, there's so much potential for this O-line. Alex Mack for a couple of years. I mean, Trey Lance is going to be comfortable for the next 2 to 3 years short term. And hopefully through the draft and maybe even free agency, the Niners can lock up that O-line and shore up that O-line for the next 10 years so that Trey Lance not only is your quarterback of the future, he's your quarterback of the future with stability, with pieces around him.
Well, and also you got the rookie pay scale, which means you can afford to keep, very talented players around him for the next 5 years. That's your window. You need to at least win 1 Super Bowl. Some things on Trey Lance that I think are going to be remarkable is going to be the things he's going to be able to do outside the pocket to extend plays. Not so much to run, because he is a great runner, and the red zone offense is going to change so much because now you have to worry about him running the ball. He's strong enough to power over you and get in. Mm-hmm. That is something the 49ers definitely don't have with Jimmy Garoppolo, something that they've needed, something Kyle Shanahan has never really had, because he had RG3 who could run, but RG3 couldn't get it done in the pass game to the level that I believe Trey Lance will be able to. These guys are going to get wide open, and he's going to take shots down the field. Trey Lance is going to open up this offense, I think, in year 2. I think he will have some things that he will do this year. I think they will have limited role for him. But I think also, like you brought up Alex Mack. Alex Mack is going to be making line calls and stuff. That's going to make it easier, not only on Jimmy Garoppolo, but on Trey Lance. That's going to enhance the learning curve. Something impressive about Trey Lance, he knew every single thing that his college teammates needed to do on every single play. What every lineman did, what every receiver did. He knew everyone's role. That is what a quarterback is supposed to do, know the ins and outs of the offense. He did it. When he figures out the ins and outs of Kyle Shanahan's offense and is able to see things the way Kyle Shanahan sees it, because it seems like he's smart enough to do that, this offense is going to take it to a whole nother level. Will that be in year 1, year 2, year 3? We don't know. But we do know that at some point it's going to happen, and that's when the full potential of the offense is going to be unlocked.
I'm going to say he's going to get fully there by year 4 for sure.
Ooh.
But here's the thing. Is he going to know enough to unlock the offense by year 2, year 3? I think the answer to that question is yes. I think 100% of understanding everything Kyle is looking for, year 4. Year 4 is a safe bet for that. It usually takes about 4 years for a guy to fully understand an offense. I know some of the best players I ever coached, having them around for 4 years, from the time they were 8th graders to the time they were about sophomores in high school, 7th, 8th grade, even before that, I think I had one of them in 6th grade. Man, by year 4, they got it down pat. They know exactly what to look for. They know exactly what they need to do, and that's because you drill it into them, and by then they don't have to think about it anymore. It's just second nature. So, second year, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, hugest of weights lifted off my shoulder. Did not. I was praying to God it was going to be one of the two, either Fields or Lance. Obviously, we all wanted here, at least on this podcast, we all wanted Zach Wilson. The Jets did the right thing. They do the right thing. And you know what? I feel a whole hell of a lot better knowing that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch did their due diligence between, I guess, all 5, but specifically between Trey Lance and Justin Fields, and they came away with the guy that not only they're comfortable with, but it's the guy who I feel like of the 3 that were left there on the board was easily the smartest, is going to put the most into learning, and he's got the pieces around him to help him learn quick. Not just Kyle Shanahan, not just Lynch, Alex Mack, as you said as well.
Yeah, I think I'm the most excited about Trey Lance because he can add the run aspect. He's not he's not somebody that you're going out there and designing runs for, only because you want to keep him healthy, but he can do all those things. That is one thing he does have over Zach Wilson. Yep. I think Zach Wilson's a more polished passer right now, but where will Trey Lance be in a couple years? That's the big question, because he's got more upside than everyone else. He's younger than everyone else. When he is 25, that's when he will be looking for his first extension. Think about that. 25 years old, looking for an extension. The 49ers have a young guy that they can develop for multiple years.
Absolutely, man. It's exciting times in San Francisco. That is for sure. It is exciting. It is electric.
It is.
And man, oh man, am I glad it's not McCorkle. Oh my word. Y'all didn't want to see what was going to happen if it was McCorkle.
Yep.
So man, good days, good times ahead in San Francisco. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, that notification bell. That way you're notified every time we go live, every time we post. And you know what, man? Good days ahead in the Bay.
Oh yeah, it's Trey in the Bay.
All day.
And we got 5 on it. That's the thing. Whenever we're in danger, we have something going on, we got 5 on it. We're gonna be good.
We're gonna be real good. And until the next one, 49ers fans, you stay safe.
And remember the right way. is always the 49ers way.